Cameroon's Minister of Public Health Manola Malachi announced measures on border surveillance in response to the COVID-19 pandemic resurgence as Muslim pilgrims returning from the 2024 Hajj in the Holy Land of Saudi Arabia. Plus, a 40-year-old man in Bacham village of the Bambutus division in the West region of Cameroon is accused of attempted murder after allegations surface of him trying to poison the entire village via palm wine. And many sports fans in Cameroon and beyond are in great shock following the announcement of the death of former Indomitable Lions player Landrin Gemo, who died in a ghastly road accident this afternoon along the Yaoundé-Bafoussam highway, precisely in a village besides the Obala. Those were major stories. Good evening to you all. This is High Prime of Thursday, 27th of June 2024. For presentation, I am attending Larry Kevin Tabot. We start off with this news story from the city of Limbe, where the board chair of the Cameroon Development Corporation, CDC, Hope Sona Ebai, has congratulated the management of the Cameroon Development Corporation, CDC, for their firm, resilient and resolute when it comes to making sure the once vibrant CDC Corporation gets to her heydays of the yesteryears. He was speaking to journalists after the ordinary board session of the board of directors of the Cameroon Development Corporation, as Alimbe-based correspondent Franklin Lyonga files in this report.
It has been revealed that the Cameroon's Development Corporation, the CDC, will in the days ahead venture into diversified short-term crops like cassava, maize, beans, etc. This revelation was made during the end of the statutory board meetings aimed to review the budget of the company, which according to the board was satisfactory with its management. The company board chair Hope Sona Ebai says moving into short-term agricultural crops with an already huge domestic market than depending on its traditional crops like banana, oil palms and rubber. While speaking to the press, Hope Sona Ebai remains confident that the corporation will once more get back into better days, judging from the financial progress recorded in the balance sheet, as well as the situation regarding the Anglophone crisis that has greatly affected the corporation gradually getting back into normalcy.
In terms of performance, we have performed better, even though we are still in a deficit. You cannot not say that, but we are performing better. And you have to put it in the global context of what the economy is doing, what the country's economy is doing. But we're moving progressively.
He used the opportunity to praise the government for always being faithful to the corporation despite sailing through turbulent waters. With the workers of the corporation have undergone several months of unpaid salaries, the board chair Hope Sona Ebai assured the workers that there is light at the end of the tunnel, especially as a dark cloud that woven over the corporation is gradually fading away.
In that, if our accounts were in a hole last year when we adopted the accounts, the hole is not that deep, so we're coming out of that crevice as we move forward. And we're hoping with this improvement that there will be some good news for the workers.
Worth noting that since 1947, the Cameroon's Industrial Corporation, the CDC, has been Cameroon's major producer and exporter of palms, rubber, and banana. The corporation is solely owned by the state through the technical supervisor of the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, operating in 3 regions on a total area of 42,000 surface of 42,227,000 hectares and a workforce of 22,036 workers.
And we move on to this court ruling from the French city of Paris, where the French Court of Cassation in Paris has ruled in favor of the Douala Port Authority in the case between the Cameroon parastatal against the French transport and logistic company Bolloré over the container terminal of the Douala Port Authority. As we have details with Aishamba.
The Court of Cassation in Paris ruled in favor of the Port of Douala, PAD, in its dispute with the French group Bolloré over container terminal concessions on June 2024. The court overturned a previous decision by the Paris Chamber of Commerce, which had ordered the port to pay 58.6 million euro to a Bolloré subsidiary that lost a bid for the concession. This further marks a major victory for the Port of Douala in a 5-year legal battle against Douala International Terminal, DIT, formerly a Bolloré subsidiary now owned by MSC Group. Notably, DIT had sued the port after losing the contract renewal for the container terminal. Even though Bolloré and his partner APMT had managed the terminal for 15 years and claimed the bidding process was unfair. In early 2019, DIT sought arbitration with the International Chamber of Commerce in Paris. In November 2020, the chamber ordered the port to pay 58.6 million euro to DIT for damages. In all, the French Court of Cassation recently overturned this decision due to irregularities in the arbitration tribunal, including collusion between a judge and a Bolloré lawyer. However, DIT believes the ruling is procedural and not yet final, indicating the case continues.
Fantastic reporting there done by staff lady Aisha Mbeng. And away from that French ruling of the Douala Port Authority, we take you to the town of Buea, where FACO women, known as FAONE, a non-profit group, will be benefiting from an agro-economic empowering project with the period time of 4 years, as the said project that is being offered by Telka Cocoa Limited and Gilgra was one that was launched in the town of Buea yesterday in the presence of the Southwest Regional Delegate for Women's Empowerment and the Promotion of the Family, Ejage Lucia Sona. Alice Lekelengo, who happens to be a member of the association, tells us more.
In order to promote gender equality, improve rural livelihood, foster the commercialization of cash crops, and reducing family dependency on cocoa, the project Agroeconomic Empowerment for FACO Women, FAONE, has been launched in Buea this June 26, 2024. The project, which is going to add value not only to the FACO woman, but to the entire population, is offered by Telka Cocoa Limited in partnership with Cargill.
The main objective of this initiative is to economically empower women, giving them the opportunity to contribute immensely to the living condition and livelihood of their family and the communities that they come from. Telka Cocoa Limited is a leading cocoa exporting company in Cameroon, and in her sustainability initiative, Telka Cocoa has what they call the 5 pillars of the Telka Cocoa Promise, which is the farmer livelihood, the community well-being. We scaled up this initiative in the Central region. Now we are scaling it up. We call it our COPE Academy, or Gender Program Version 2.0, which means there was the first 1.0, now we're going to 2.0. Now we actually hope that at the end of this initiative, we see the women of FACO division go to another level in terms of economic power.
This project has been carried out in other regions and has benefited lots of women.
Our goal and our vision is not to limit their product to be sold transnationally. We want their product to be sold internationally and nationally. And our main objective is for these women to have another source of income. And they should be able to do the identification of different crops.
The launching ceremony was done in the presence of the Southwest Regional Delegate of Women Empowerment and Family, who applauded the project.
All these things have come to open the eyes of women. They have understood that life is not just about sitting, planting corn and harvesting. They have learned so much. And now they want things that can expose them to learning more and more productivity and build their capacity. And that is what exactly TELCA is doing. I want to laud the efforts and the love that Madam Kate Kaifoto have for the women at large, because she's not doing this only in the Southwest region. She's been in the Central region and other regions. Now she has come to the Southwest to carry out the same activities. I want to praise her efforts because this is what we are looking for now.
On their part, the Fako women, Fawone, are grateful and promise to give in their all in carrying out the project, which is going to last for 4 years.
This empowerment will certainly not end only with the women. It's going to empower the entire Fako division and the Southwest region and of course the country. The project is an agro-economic project. A project where she foresees that Fawone can work with other stakeholders, work with other groups, Fako groups, work with other individuals, and ensure that our farm produce do not, fall into the waste basket.
The 3 components project will consist of surveillance, training, which is going to take place in 8 groups, subvention, product labeling, packaging, and preservation.
And from Boya in Fako division, we crossed over to Bacham, a village in the Bambutus division of the West region, where a 40-year-old man in Bacham village of Bambutus division is accused of attempting to kill the villagers of Balloon village via palm wine poisoning, as he went further to set ablaze the house of his father-in-law. The said gentleman is accused of molesting one of his wife, as he happens to be a polygamist, and a gardener who is equally a commercial motorcyclist. This incident has taken many villagers in the Bacham village of the Bambutus division aback, as our reporter Ritama Fanimujoko recounts.
The people of Bacham village of the Bambutus division of the West region were taken aback after a 40-year-old man who is a polygamist married with 12 children accused of having poisoned palm wine meant for sale on the village market day, as they say his intentions was to target the entire village.
I discovered it was green in color instead of white as I was about to pour it into a gallon. I took it to the market, and there other palm wine sellers expressed frustration over how they had thrown away their products when they realized it was having an unusual color. They said they learned that the suspect had made a public promise to kill everyone in the village.
Ken Ferdinand, who has made a public pronouncement of killing the entire village, his motives stem from personal motives after one of his wives who left him due to his several death threats. With pain of the departure of the wife to her father's house, Ferdinand decided to set ablaze the house of his father-in-law on June 22, 2024, where the wife and children are living.
We were at a funeral ceremony in Bacham when we were informed of the fire incident. When we arrived here, the whole house had been razed. He is the husband of my younger sister. He always threatened and maltreated her. That's why she ran and came back to the family house. He always promised to cut off her head.
The forces of law and order have opened investigations to probe into Ken Ferdinand's actions, which prompted him to have resorted to such a devilish act.
And wonders, they say, shall never end. We will move on to the economic hub of Cameroon, that is the city of Douala, where there is a resurgence of roadside garages that are overtaking most streets and road junctions of the city of Douala. This phenomenon of roadside garages has been welcomed with mixed feelings, as many city dwellers in the city of Douala complain of it causing a lot of traffic jams across the city, and others say it is a short for them to have their vehicle fixed in a short distance period, as we have details in this upcoming story. Roadside garages in the city of Douala are fast sprouting up across the economic hub of Cameroon, a situation that has further been exacerbated by a worsening urban disorder. The makeshift auto mechanic repaired joints are causing traffic jams, accidents, and insecurity that reigns in the city.
Insecurity because we have children playing around here and other vehicles that are on movement. For example, some ago I was here and my car was brushed by another car, and it was difficult to start an insurance procedure is long, so I just needed to negotiate with one of the people here to arrange my car.
Apart from the aforementioned setback in which these roadside garages cause, some customers of the said service are of the opinion that they help in a great way whenever their vehicles suffer from mechanical failures.
It really helps because there are times you have a breakdown, and by the roadside, one can just help in fix it in no time.
With the proliferation of roadside garages in the city of Douala, the Douala City Council officials and other local authorities are called upon to heighten stricter measures to avert this phenomenon of roadside garages and enforcing a better urban planning strategy and beefing up a greater urban masterpiece for a structure and city like Douala. And to our viewers in Cameroon and around the world, you are watching High Prime, and we are coming to you live from our news studios here in High Television. We now move on to one of our latest stories. As we did mention earlier, shock waves have been felt in Cameroon and around the world regarding the demise of the football player who played with the Cameroon national team and other teams in Turkey and other parts of the world. That is Landry Ngemo, who died today in a ghastly road accident as the vibrant international footballer who was traveling using the stretch of roads along the Yaoundé-Bafoussam highway met his water low as a result of the ghastly road accident. He died at the age of 38 as he played with France, Turkey, football clubs over there in Europe. He officially ended his career in football in 2020 as he has oriented to other training. This is a sad incident that is coming barely 24 hours after Cameroonians are still remembering 21 years after the death of Marc-Vivien Foé, who died on the pitch in the World Confederation Cup in France. Away from that sad story, we move on to another lead stories, as we did mention earlier in our top headlines, where the Minister of Public Health, Manuela Malachi, has announced measures of border surveillance as a way to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic that has had a resurgence. This is coming at a time where most Cameroonian pilgrims who went to the Holy Land of Saudi Arabia are returning. As a result, they will be tested across the various international airports in order to ensure this COVID-19 resurgence doesn't spread all across the nation of Cameroon. The communique of Manuela Malachi came yesterday, 26 June 2024, as Aishambang tells us more.
To the resurgence of the COVID-19 pandemic in some African countries following the 2024 Hajj in Saudi Arabia, Minister of Public Health Dr. Manuela Malachi has announced strengthened border surveillance measures. In a statement released on Wednesday, June 26, 2024, the minister outlined several preventive and control measures aimed at containing potential outbreaks in Cameroon, particularly in light of 5,500 Cameroonian pilgrims attending the event. However, key measures put in place include the mandatory completion of identification forms for all international travelers arriving at airports, systematic testing of suspected cases, voluntary screening of travelers, and the prompt screening of suspected cases in hospital emergency departments. Additionally, all positive cases will receive free treatment. These proactive steps comes as many countries whose citizens participated in the pilgrimage grappled with the rising COVID-19 cases. Saudi Arabia had already reported more than 1,300 deaths from heat-related illnesses during this year's Hajj due to extreme temperatures reaching up to 51.8 degrees Celsius at the Grand Mosque in Mecca. Also, Senegal, with 12,900 pilgrims, has confirmed COVID-19 cases among returning pilgrims, with 78 cases detected out of 124 tests conducted at Dakar's Blaise Diagne International Airport. Dr. Manahuda Malachi further urged Cameroonians to remain vigilant by continuing to practice preventive measures such as wearing masks, maintaining social distancing, practicing hand hygiene, and regularly disinfecting public spaces. It is worth noting that, according to the World Health Organization, since recording its first case on March 6, 2020, Cameroon has reported over 125,000 positive cases and 1,974 deaths. The government, on its part, with the proactive measures, have been credited with successfully containing previous waves of the pandemic.
And away from the disposition put in place by the Minister of Public Health, Manahuda Malachi, we crossed over to the town of Nchang in the West region, where 5 persons has died as a result of the ghastly road accident that occurred on the Chang Cliff last June 25th, 2024 in the Menwa division of the West region. The mayor of Nchang, Jacques Kamlu, visited survivors who are receiving medical attention over there at the Chang District Hospital as he assures them for the cancer's support when it comes to their medical treatment. Our reporter has more. According to official reports, 5 persons died in the Chang Cliff accident in the Menwa division of the West region that occurred last 25th June 2024. The survivors who made it are thanking God for life. The bus that left Bamenda for Kumba plunged herself into the cliff, as some of the occupants of the bus explained.
Left Bamenda for Kumba, and when we arrived at La Falaise, I noticed the driver was panicking. I didn't know what was happening with him, so I immediately opened the vehicle door and helped 2 other girls who were beside me to get out.
Everything scattered to there is nothing they can get, is beyond repairs. To go above this barrier, something must have gone wrong between the driver, the passengers, or maybe the mechanism of the car. So I'm begging that something should be done. If God did not save my wife, we would never have known what happened inside the car. I still have a message from her. She says now the picture had the best passengers were quarreling seriously inside the bus.
The Menwa SDO and other local authorities visited survivors at the Chang District Hospital, amongst which was a 3-year-old girl who incurred fractures.
Supposed to act very quickly. Another patient don't have their parents here, and it is a responsibility for us to see how to do something for them.
More severe cases has been referred to the Bafoussam Regional Hospital for appropriate medical surveillance. An investigation has been opened to ascertain the cause of the accident and ways to mitigate further accidents from occurring on the stretch of the Chang Cliff. And moving on to news beyond the shores of Cameroon, we take you to the East African nation of Kenya, where Kenya's President William Ruto has backpedals on the 2024 finance law, where he and other parliamentarians accepted a increase in the taxation department of the country, Kenya. This saw Kenyans who took to the streets to protest against the exorbitant taxation system put in place by the late William Ruto administration. This led to the burning of part of the National Assembly. He was speaking in Nairobi as he assures all Kenyans that the said tax has been scrapped off. More with our reporter Daniel Ikomi Bua.
After days of demonstration by the citizens of Kenya against the imposed finance bill, the President William Ruto says the tax bill that led to protesters demonstrating and causing unrest in the country has been withdrawn.
I'm listening keenly to the people of Kenya who have said loudly that they want nothing to do with this Finance Bill 2024. I concede, and therefore I will not sign the 2024 Finance Bill.
Members of Parliament that voted overwhelmingly for the Finance Bill saw the need to reconsider their decision on the bill so as to bring back normalcy in the country.
And it shall subsequently be withdrawn. And I have agreed with these members that that becomes our collective position.
Appearing before journalists this Wednesday, June 26, 2024, President William Ruto, alongside his members of Parliament, promised to have a smooth dialogue with the youth so as to rebuild the economic situation of the country.
And I am therefore proposing that because we have gotten rid of the Finance Bill 2024, it is necessary for us to have a conversation as a nation going forward. How do we manage the affairs of the country together? How do we manage our debt situation together? How do we work on the budget with the deficits that now exist together?
However, the Parliament says they needed to collect more tax revenue to curb borrowing and provide social services within the country.
And with that for a news item from the East African nation of Kenya, this is where we conclude tonight's news package, High Prime, of Thursday, 27th day of June 2024. Thanks for watching and goodbye from our news studios. But do not move a muscle, as at the top of the hour, exactly 9 p.m, Uncle Disman will be here in the news in the Pidgin language. For me and the entire crew, until we come your way again tomorrow. Bye-bye.